Hi, so this is video 2 on equations of a circle. Uh, in last video, I talked about going from drawings of circles to their equations. Now I'm starting with a general, here an example, but like an equation, and we need to get the drawing of the circle from it. Alright, so what do we do? Well, first keep in mind the general form we use to draw circles, or I should say we used in the last video. It looked like this, where our center was HK and our radius, that's a horrible A. The radius was given by A. So we need first to make our equation look something like that. So we need to group our x terms together, x squared and 4x here, and write it as x plus something squared. How do we do that? Well, first, you have to recall from high school algebra, just given any general, let's just call it C for now, x plus some number squared. If we square that out, we get something that looks like this. Okay, so for our example, we want 4x to be our second term. Uh, well, we have 2xc, and if we want to get 4 as the coefficient, we obviously need c to be 2 to get 4x. But keep in mind though, if we write, so we need x plus 2 squared in our rewriting of the equation above. But when I square this out, we see in red I'm also going to have a 2 squared or plus 4 term that I didn't have originally. Right, there's no plus 4 up here in the top. Uh, so to cancel out that plus 4, I'm going to subtract 4. And now that means this whole thing is going to become just x squared plus 4x because the 4 coefficients will cancel. I mean, the 4 constant terms will cancel. Uh, so that's rewriting the first two terms in red I underlined at the top. Now let's do the same with the y terms. I have y squared and negative 2y. So I'm going to rewrite what I have in red just in terms of y. Alright, and we want negative 2y as our second term, so I need d to be negative 1, right? Because 2 times negative 1 gives me my negative 2 in front of the y. And then our extra term is going to be negative 1 squared or plus 1. Uh, so when I'm rewriting the equation, so I'm doing that down here, I have to have y minus 1 squared, y minus 1 squared, and then to get rid of the plus 1 extra term, I subtract 1 at the end. So now this becomes the y squared minus 2y I underlined above. And now, don't forget we have a minus 4 term at the end that we have to bring in. And we have all this equal to 0. Alright, and now looking at our general form again, we see that everything that doesn't fall neatly into the x or y stuff needs to basically move over to the right side. So let's do that. So on the left, I should only have these two things. And then, okay, so we add minus 4, minus 1, and minus 4. I get minus 9. We move it to the right. Becomes plus 9. And now, finally, remember our general form says we're subtracting h and k. So I actually need to rewrite the inside parentheses of the x. Uh, Sorry, what we're adding to the x rather. So instead of plus 2, if I want to subtract something, I have to subtract negative 2, right? Because minus negative 2 is the same as plus 2. The y, I'm already subtracting something, so I can leave that one alone. And then remember on the right we want a squared, so if I want to write 9 as something squared, of course that's going to be 3. So now I have my h, my k, and my a. And then you can see on the right, I here drew that. So I had noticed the circle here centered at -2, -1, matching of calculated h and k, and how I drew the radius, you can see that it's length 3 as desired. So anyway, I hope this helped thinking about how to go from a given equation and figuring out what the graph looks like.